Alright, there's a lot going on in the weather forecast, so let's dive right into this low that you see just north of the northeast. By about 7 a.m. this morning, that's going to be bringing some rain to places in New York and snow into places of western and northern Maine. As we move into about 1 p.m. on Monday, you can see really heavy rain rates building into eastern and southern New York, as well as Vermont and western Massachusetts. And really by 1 p.m. today, all of Maine is getting some of the snow. And that's because there's some nice cold air working its way down, really allowing the precipitation to fall in the form of snow. And we're getting some good accumulations in Maine associated with this low that's moving throughout the day today. By about 7 p.m. you can see some of that snow has worked its way into Vermont and New Hampshire, maybe even a little bit of Massachusetts as well, where Boston could even be seeing some flakes towards tonight. You can see that snow in Maine has moved into the southern parts of the state, while really New York, you're not really getting too much snow with this one. It's really just rain for you guys. And then as we move into early Tuesday morning, this is about maybe 1 a.m., you can see as that cold air has been able to fill into New England a little bit more, we get a dash of snow in the higher elevations of New York. But really, for this low that's moving through New York, you're really just getting rain with this one. But there is another system moving through on about Wednesday as you see it start to move in from the southeast. It's going to bring some severe weather to the southeast first, and then as you can see, it's going to move north and bring some pretty good weather with it up into parts of Maine. You can see are getting some snow by about 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Again, New York by about 1 p.m. Wednesday, missing out. You don't even have any precipitation at this point. And then Maine continues to get snow. That's, again, because it's cold enough up there for precipitation to fall in the form of snow. Some really heavy rates build in by about 7 a.m. on Thursday. So you can see Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire getting some decent snowfall today, and then again Wednesday, and then working through Thursday as another low has built in off the coast here, mostly bringing rain to much of New England throughout the day Wednesday, Thursday, and then working its way into Friday. So you can really see the low as it brings that cold air in. Looking at this map, these blue colorings represent below freezing temperatures, so it's a good thing to look at if you want to know where snow is going to fall. Right here you see this is about 11 a.m. on Monday, and really the only place with those below freezing temperatures is Maine, and that's exactly where we saw the snow falling, so it pretty much makes sense. You can see there's actually a combination of two lows right here. So there's this low that it doesn't have as strong of winds, and that's because, again, it's not all that low. It's 1,009 millibars. And then there's this other low that's sitting off the coast. This is a little bit stronger, as you can see some of these winds. And what this low is doing off the coast is bringing this cold air down from Canada and the cold air from the Arctic, and that's what's bringing the cold air into Maine. It's not this low. You think about it, it's counterclockwise circulation around a low. So on this side, it's actually bringing some warm air in, and it's really bringing that warm air into New York, which is why New York isn't getting snow with this one. It's because this low is ruining it. This low, on the other hand, is bringing some of this cold air down from Canada into northern parts of Maine, which is why Maine is getting snow with this one. You can see it even works into New Hampshire a little bit as well, which is why we saw a little bit of snow falling there too. So as we move through the day, some encouraging temperature patterns for Vermont and New Hampshire as that cold air continues to build in farther south, as that low that was over New York kind of combines with that low that was sitting off the coast, and then we get some really strong winds on the left side of this low, bringing that cold, freezing air into basically all of Maine, all of New Hampshire, and majority of Vermont, and even western Massachusetts. And that continues to build in throughout Monday night and into Tuesday. That cold air continues to fill in, and you can see that one spot in New York where we did see a little bit of snow. You can see the temperatures will be below freezing by early Tuesday morning. Let's just move right ahead into Wednesday when we start to see some of that snow building into Maine again. So on really early Wednesday, the temperatures are above freezing. We don't see those blues, And then by about 5 p.m. on Wednesday, we start to see those below freezing temperatures get pulled down because of this low that is off the coast. Those cold temperatures are really going to fill into all of the Northeast at this point. Even pretty much all of New York is below freezing with this one too. But the problem is New York's a little bit far away from the precipitation pattern with this one. So the cold air is there, but the precipitation and the moisture just isn't. We did see some snow from Maine with this one, and here's what the accumulations are going to look like. So Maine getting snow all day today, pretty much the entire state really, and then spots in New Hampshire, Vermont, a little bit of snow, not as much, but you can see northern parts of Maine, maybe 6 to 8 inches of snow, while a majority of the state is really getting 2 to 4 inches. So pretty good snowstorm for really the entire state of Maine. And then that's going to continue to fill in throughout Monday, working into Tuesday afternoon. Southern parts of Maine will be the last to see this snow, as you could still be getting an inch or two working throughout the day Tuesday. And then let's just move forward to that storm that comes in on Wednesday and Thursday. You can see a couple bullseyes in Maine, really the higher elevations where there's some colder temperatures. Could be getting 5 inches with this one, but this storm's looking a little bit smaller, maybe 2 to 4 inches, and it's really just in the more northern parts of the state where the air is cold enough to be getting snow. Vermont does get a little bit more snow with this one though. By about Friday morning, they've maybe picked up an inch or two of snow, as well as northern parts of New Hampshire. So there's really 3 different systems going on in the weather forecast this week, and it's really driving weather for really multiple places across the country. As you can see, this big low pressure system that's bringing that cold air down into the Northeast, bringing some snow to Maine, that's what we've been talking about. So there's that system. Then there's this other trough that's going to be moving into Texas. That's going to create some severe weather for really the south and southeast over the next day or two. And it's actually creating a fire weather warning in eastern New Mexico and western Texas. I just filmed an entire video about that, so if you want to hear about the fire weather forecast, you could check out my channel. But this trough is going to move through the southeast, and it's going to bring some severe weather with it. We're likely going to see some lightning, some hail, some thunder. Right now, the tornado forecast isn't looking as bad as it was this weekend. This weekend, I think we had 22 tornado sightings, and luckily, the atmosphere used up most of its energy. There's not a whole lot of energy left for those tornadoes with this trough that's going to be moving through the southeast. And then the third system is this big, just blob of Arctic cold air that's going to be working into the northwest, and that's going to be bringing over a foot of snow to multiple locations. So that's really, if you click back here, this is the 3 different systems. There's the one in the northeast, bringing some snow to Maine. There's this trough that's going to be moving into the southeast, bringing some severe thunderstorms to places like Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. And then you got this cold air working into the northwest, where we're going to see a foot of snow in the Cascades and really northern Rockies. So this is just a big idea across the country. What's precipitation going to be doing? See that low in the northeast, bringing some snow up there, and then you see this low as it moves across the south and southeast, really bringing some heavy rainfall and some severe thunderstorms to Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia throughout Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then you start to see that snow pop in the northwest as well. So that's the 3 big stories we got going on over the next couple days. And this is a pretty amazing map to look at right here. You see this low, this is looking at about 11 p.m. on Monday. So this is tonight. Throughout the day today, not as much danger for like kind of the southeast, but then it's going to start working its way in tonight and then throughout the day Tuesday. And watch what happens as this low moves through here. What it's going to be doing is bringing this warm, moist air in from the Gulf of Mexico. And what that's going to do is really bring in the warm air, and what the moisture does is the warm air comes in, it rises because it's less dense, all that moisture creates clouds, and then those clouds become thunderstorms. And the other big aspect of this one is the warm temperatures. As those strong winds bring in these warm temperatures, we're going to see places in Florida about 10 to 15 degrees above average, reaching the low 90s in some places. So really it's going to be this separation where you see the really warm air and the more mild air. That's where we're likely going to see some severe thunderstorms as that warm air is pushed up above the cold air, really leading to storm development. But pretty cool to see that low move through, and you can just see the warm air being pulled in by these southerly winds. So this shows the temperature anomaly. Like I said, big temperature anomaly, especially Tuesday morning is when we're going to start to see that low really start bringing in the warm temperatures, as places in Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, 10 to 15 degrees above average. So a little taste of that heat wave that we saw last week. And this is looking at the precipitation type and rate. As you can see, throughout Monday, not all that much going on from Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. And then early Tuesday morning, this is showing about 1 a.m., that's when that low moves into northern Louisiana. And that is just an ominous looking thunderstorm right there. That is just a huge swath of really rain rates that are in the 0.4 inches per hour. And that's going to move through northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, working its way into Georgia, and then South Carolina throughout the day Tuesday. So Tuesday is going to be a day to watch for severe thunderstorms in the southeast. And one other thing, so we got some hail, some wind damage. One other thing is possibly some flooding. If you get an inch or two of rain, likely going to lead to some flooding if the soils are already saturated, which they are. As you can see, by Wednesday, northern parts of Mississippi and Alabama, really 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. So this is the area where we could see some flooding associated with this low as it moves through. Again, there's the 3 different systems though. There's the one in the northeast, the one in the southeast, and then there's the one in the northwest. And you can really see what this is showing the jet stream right here. And what this is going to do, this jet stream that you see really pushing into the northwest, is that's just going to be pulling in a bunch of moisture into this area. And you can see it's just a straight atmospheric river throughout Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, it actually turns into a trough. That's where we could see some really heavy snow accumulations. But we're also going to see some throughout the day today. As you can see, by early Tuesday morning, this is the snow we're going to pick up throughout Monday. You see basically a foot, maybe 1.5 feet to 2 feet throughout all of central Washington and Oregon, and then snow working its way into northern Idaho and Montana as well, where we could be seeing a foot of snow throughout much of central Idaho. That bullseye in central Oregon though, that's probably working into 2 feet right there. And again, it's just associated with that jet stream pulling in all the moisture from the Pacific. So there's a lot of weather going on over the next few days. If you want to stay updated, you can subscribe to my channel. I do forecast videos every single morning. So if you enjoyed this video or you enjoy following the weather, you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.